Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Okay guys, so yesterday we learnt about Kubernetes cluster has master server, and then we have a worker server also. Correct? Now we have learnt that master server we have API server, we have second one etcd, third one we have a controller manager, and fourth one we have scheduler. So these are the four components we have. In worker server we have learned we have a kubelet, and we have a Docker engine, and we have kubeproxy. So I hope you remember all this stuff. In the workstation server we have kubectl. So these are the things which we have in the Kubernetes server. So are you agree with me? Correct? Am I missing any components, or this is the complete one? Guys, are you there? Yep. So guys, here when I look at this API server, Kubernetes says you need to run your application in pod. Mind it, pod has a container. Those are the things which we have discussed already. So Kubernetes says you need to run your container in the pod. So guys, this is also an application, this is also application, this is application, this is application. So can't they follow their own advice? Yeah. So all this software which is in the master server and all these worker components in the worker server, these all are applications. So see here, API server is also pod. It can be a pod. But by guys, pod has a pod is instantiated by which component? Anyone has idea? Pod is being instantiated, not created, by which component? Anyone? No. Pod is instantiated. I think we forgot that concept again. Let me remind you. Pod is scheduled by scheduler, but pod is instantiated by kubelet, which is an agent. You forgot that in the worker. Remember, worker has a pod has a container, right? Pod get IP address. So pod is getting instantiated by kubelet. So don't you think, guys, kubelet has to be there in the master server also? Simple logic. Now guys, pod hatch container. Now container is created by which component, which tool? Container is created by which tool? Anyone? No, sir.
Docker.
Yes, Pant, how can you say container is created by pod? Container is created by Docker. So don't you think Docker should be a part of the master server also? Guys, pod get IP address from where?
Kubeproxy.
Kubeproxy. So guys, don't you think this application has to be there here as well? Yes. This application has to be there in the master server also. So now guys, these all are pod actually. Now this container come from what? Image. And the Docker image, and this image come from, you know what? Where? Google registry, not a hub, not a Docker hub. So guys, this is the complete detailed about this. By the way, guys, kubeproxy is also applications. So here it is. This cannot be in a pod because this guys only empower the pod. So it has to be running in the master server or worker server. Now guys, these are the pod which we call it a system pod. But you will also create your own pod of your applications. You will also create your own pod of your application. So here we have a master server. Here we have a worker server. In the worker server, these are the things will be there. In the master server, these are the things will be there. And the workstation, this is a kubectl. So I hope the architecture is right now clear for everyone. Any questions, guys? Any confusion? So now guys, the question is how to set up Kubernetes cluster. Kubernetes cluster. The process is very long and very complicated. But you know what? With the help of kubeadm, this process is very easy. So what is a kubeadm? Using Kube is a one or two tool actually. In simple way, I'm not adding too much of complexity, is a tool to set up a cluster, Kubernetes cluster. Simple. Now it has a many other features as well, but you want to set up a cluster. When I set up a cluster, that means if you want to set up a master server or you want to set up a worker server, you can use kubeadm. Everyone uses kubeadm. But guys, the question is where to set up? That is a question. Where to set up Kubernetes cluster? So guys, when it comes for where to set up, guys, there's so many 40 plus different platforms right now we are using in the world of computing by various organizations, various companies here and there. Some of these I'm going to talk about it. So either it can be cloud based or it can be non-cloud based. You have to decide. When I say cloud based, then here it's like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. Correct? These are the popular ones, though there are so many others as well. Non-cloud, when I say, let's say public cloud, let me put it in this way: public cloud and private cloud and manual manual way. Your public cloud, private cloud, and physical machines
On-prem.
or something like that. On-prem also it's a private cloud actually. So that's the reason I got confused a little bit. Okay. So here private cloud is like AWS, Google, and Azure. Nowadays we all are using cloud only. So like that. Okay, or private cloud like a VMware and stuff like that, vSphere and all. Okay, now physical machines, manual way. This is the manual installation. So guys, here now, guys, here where to set up or virtual machines. Let's say manual way. Manual way. This is the manual way. Okay, so these are the four primarily areas where I can see that. Of course, physical machines not applicable. No one is using it. Virtual machines using it. Now, guys, here public cloud, we have AWS, which is a hosted one. Hosted one means managed services. Managed services means they will manage your master server and worker server. Just need to set up a workstation and start deploying the pod, your application pod. They'll take care of your HA, high availability. They'll take care of your backup. Everything they will take care of it. You just take care of it. Deployment. Very simple. So guys, here in AWS, EKS is a managed one, managed and hosted. Okay, so something similar we have here GKE, managed and hosted. Okay, something similar we have in Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS. Okay, managed and hosted. So now if you want to manage and hosted, you can use all this one. In this, everything will be done by them. But also you can set it up through the VMware also. But you know what? If you want to set up in a virtual machines manual way, it can be virtual machine on AWS or virtual machine on Google or virtual machine in Azure or VMware or the one which we are using, VirtualBox. Anywhere it can be. So guys, typically we use Kubedium and COPS also we are using. COPS also. Okay, COPS also we are using. By the way, guys, don't you think this whole things, the master component, it can act like a master and worker both? Don't you think so? Tell me. Think and tell me.
Yes.
So guys, yes, this is called single node cluster. Single node cluster. You know what? When you are a developers and all, you will set it up this stuff. So yes, in a virtual machines, you can set it up single node cluster using Minikube. There's one more which is there. I'm not able to recall that name, but Minikube is more popular than the other one which I'm not able to recall. So this is a you can run in your laptop, Minikube. Now COPS manual way in popular cloud and Kubedium manual way anywhere. Okay, so guys, these are the things which we have. So what we are trying to do, how we'll set it up the Kubernetes server. So guys, what we are going to do, we are going to use virtual machines because all of us has a virtual machine, right? And virtual machine, we are using the manual way using Kubedium. This is the same one which is being asked in the certifications as well. So if you are preparing for it, it will help you. So guys, here we are going to set up a cluster. So now the question is, I need one master server, 2 GB or 4 GB RAM minimum. Okay, 4 GB RAM, which you have it already, and some hard disk, 30 GB hard disk or something like that, and 2 CPU, you need it. Now each one of you have a required infrastructure already in place, and I will require one worker which is again have a 1 CPU, 2 GB RAM. This is the place where the pod will be created. Okay, worker. Now these are the things. So now what you want to do? I need a 2 machine at least. Worker, you may have a more. If you want HA for the master, you may have a more. That's a different topic. Right now we are focusing on the setting up. So guys, you will do what you know. You will set up a worker in a CentOS 1. And you will set up a master in CentOS 2. Remember, the CentOS 2 has not been used by anyone. CentOS 1 has been used for Docker. So CentOS 2. Now guys, because CentOS 1 you have already used, CentOS 1 needs to be cleared. Now how to clear that Docker and other stuff, that I will teach you. Don't worry about that during the live time. But right now what I'm going to do, I am going to set up 2 machines, one for master, one for worker, and then by the way we need one for the workstations also. So here what I'm planning right now, my master plus workstation would be in a one machine itself. Okay, I'll teach you how it can be possible, and the worker will be in another machine because second one. Okay, so this is the 2 things. That means in the workstation server, that means your laptop, kubectl has to be there and configured. How it is there and how it's been configured, that I will teach you anyways. So guys, what I'm going to do is very simple. I will get 1 VMs for the master, 1 VM for the worker. Master will act like a master and workstation. Worker will be the second box which will work like a worker itself. So guys, so far so clear? Any confusion? Any confusion? Okay, so guys, I am going to create a box. Yeah, look at my screen very carefully. And it's a end-to-end demo, guys. So please look at it very carefully. It's not repeat, cannot repeat, so I'm all to look at it. This is a box. You have these boxes. I'm creating from scratch. It'll just take a few seconds. Continue. So CPU, I'll go for 4 GB RAM. Here it is. One machine is okay for it. 30 GB hard disk is more than sufficient for the demo environment. Here, this I'm going to make it master and plus workstation. And then next, security group. I'll open up every firewall and all. Launch. Rajesh Mumbai. Launch. Done. View instances. Done, guys. This is the machines. I got it. Here it is. This is the IP address. Now, meanwhile, this machine is getting boot up. I'm going to work with the second machine worker. So next, again CentOS 7 marketplace. Here it is. And continue. One CPU, 2 GB RAM is sufficient for the demo, for the worker. One machine. Storage 30 GB, that should be okay. Here, this is the worker. And select existing group. and no firewall is there. I'll review, launch. Keys I'm having it, so here it is. Done. So guys, I got this two machines up and running. Now I'm going to show you how can we configure. So here, this is the master workstation and this is the worker. Get me the IP address I need, and here this is the workstation. Okay guys, so now I'm going to set up the master. Now the question is, how can I apply the instructions documents like that? So guys, you have to refer blocks. So any tutorials which you want, please come to DevOps School. Here you have all the tutorials. Many things are not covered, but many things you will find it here only. And here I will search, let's say Kubernetes or Kubedium or something. It just will be the Kubedium. I search for the Kubedium, and here I get a lot of articles. Any errors also you get it. Here also you can find it. Sometimes it's not in Google, but if you come and search here, you'll get it. See here, setting up in the Kubernetes cluster using Kubedium manual way. Setting up the Kubernetes cluster using Kubedium manual way in Ubuntu. This is an RHEL. Okay, like this. Like this, Minikube also will be there. So let's go to RHEL one. Here it is. Now this is the instruction I am following in front of you. Please understand that this structure is defined in a certain way. So you have to respect it. Look at this here. If I'm the learner, I will first read about what is Kubedium. Again, Kubedium is utility, free, open source product, which you can read it on the Google also, like a GitHub URL and all. Now, what is the goal for the Kubedium? I will read it. Basically, in short, I'm teaching you using Kubedium, you can set up a cluster. You can set up a cluster. Everyone uses Kubedium to set up a cluster and manage the cluster. So here there are certain prerequisites are there, which I'm going to read it. And also as part of this installation, these are the prerequisite software you need to be there. For example, you need to have a kubelet, you need to have a Docker engine, you need to have a Kubedium. So these are the utility, and kubectl also. You need to have it to get all this stuff. So now here it says, this section says master setting up the Kubernetes control plane. Guys, this document I have designed for you, not for me. I have designed for you. So here you will see VMs, all this stuff. You will see that this is designed for you. Again, for you, if you look at it, if you are setting up in the VMs, please set up master in CentOS 2 and workstation in CentOS 2, and in the worker you set up in the CentOS 1. Why? There's a reason for it. Because master makes sure that and the worker, if there's a problem, you can troubleshoot. Remember, CentOS 1 need to be cleared with the existing installation of Docker and many other things. How? I will teach you that one. I'll show you that URL for that one also. So just be with me here. So now guys, here step number 1. Please read it, follow, don't follow blindly, don't rush. Many people just don't read it and just start jumping on the images itself. Read it here. Please power off your VM before changing the MAC address. So this is the step 1 you have to do. This is the image you have for the virtual box. This is the step 1. You have to do it. After that, you have to boot that machine and then change the host name. Again, guys, do not run command blindly. Remember, this is my name. How can it be your name of your host machine? You have to give some names. So change your host name, like whatever your first initial or last initial, as per your logic. Please do not do blind work. Okay, here these are the commands to stop the firewall for your Linux VM. This is the command for disabling the swap memory in your VM, which is enabled by default. Okay, so now step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and step number 4, I do not have to do it because I am using AWS instance, which is already done with these changes. I control the security group here. This is already disabled and all this stuff like that. So please mind it. This you have to do that. Finally, you have to install the Docker. How can you install? This is the same document which we have used it yesterday, but this is a embedded here only. So you can follow the command 1, 2, 3, 4, all this thing and get this installation done. So here Docker is being installed, which is has to be there. Remember, Docker has to be there. Now you need what? You need 3 tools: Kubelet, Kubedium, and kubectl. These are the 3 things you need it. In each machines, you mind it. So for that, a repository is there. Mind it here. This is a one command actually. Okay, I'm not able to select. I don't know why. You can see the view row also. If something is not opening, you can see the view row also. You can look at this here and then you can select here like this. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so now you got it, this one done, and then after that you're going to set the permission mode. This is the command to, these are all nice command to set the permission mode. After that you're going to install the kubelet, kubedium, kubectl, and so these are things. And finally, guys, initialize a Kubernetes cluster master component. This is the one. And finally, you get the output like this. And one more thing, whatever the output you get it, you have to store it. So guys, this is the master setup. Master setup, step 1 to step 10. Now in the same machine, you will set up a workstation. Okay, so for this, you have to run this command. And after that, verify the cluster. You will get something like this. After that, you have to install the Kubernetes pod networking using this command. Okay. And after that, this is the worker setting up the Kubernetes worker. So here, step 1 to step 9, and then finally join command. Join command, you will get it from here only. You see here. Okay. So this is the join command. So guys, this is the instruction for setting up the master, setting up the workstation, and setting up the worker. Everything you have in these documents only. So have you understood these documents? Can I follow? If you have any other questions? This is done. Enable the Docker and then start the Docker. Validate the Docker. After that, copy this command. I'm not able to copy it, so I can see the raw. And here, this is one command altogether in one go. I'll run it. And after that, set repository. This one, and installing all the tools. And finally enable the kubelet, which is it. Now this will set up, this command is magical command which will initialize the master. It will take few seconds. The version which is we are using is 1903, which is a latest one. Sorry, this is a Docker version. This is the Kubernetes version 120. We are using it.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan, and grow your skills immensely.
Now you should copy this stuff. Again, I read, if you do not copy, you cannot blame me. You have to copy this output in your notepad wherever it is, because you need it, this stuff. This has some keys actually. So guys, that is done. Now finally workstation setup. This is the commands to set up a workstation, the one which I have selected. In fact, same command I have written here also. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up the workstation. So here I'll become a normal user to set up workstation. See, my cluster setup is done. I'm become a normal user and I'm setting up workstation. Done. So guys, this is the done. Can I validate? See here, not ready. Something you get the output here, and when you see the pod namespace, you are listing all the pods actually. See here, this is the API server. These are the other pod. Okay, get pod. So this is the API server, etcd, controller manager, scheduler, proxy, and this is the discovery pod core DNS. By the way, it's a pending. Okay, pending. Okay, you see this image also I've given it, so you will not get confused. After that, you have to install the networking. Now guys, networking is a different topic, but for time being, I'm asking you to install VivNet blindly because I don't want to add so many confusion here. So how to install the VivNet? These are the commands you have. If you cannot open up the command, you can open up in the full window and you can do that. I just did. And finally, after that, you'll have to wait for a few seconds. Not ready. Not ready. Not ready. And watch. See here. Not ready right now. Left wait and now it's become ready. So now after this step, you will get something like a see here. Ready. From not ready to ready and running. So all the pods will be running. Okay. So worker, master, this workstation, I set it up, validated a cluster, install the networking, pod networking from the workstation. This is done. Now the time has come for the setting up the Kubernetes worker. So guys, master and workstation setup is done. Did you find any difficulties so far? Any difficulties? Okay, so now guys, I'm going to close this URL to avoid confusion. I'm going to open up this. You have to keep it with yourself. Everyone will get it, your own data, this one. So please keep it because this you need it actually. Okay. This I have mentioned already in the documents, but this I cannot mention because this changes actually. This stuff get changed. Okay. So now I'm going to set up a worker. For worker, this is the IP address. Let me log in. So I'm setting up the one worker. Same steps if you follow in 10 machines, you'll set up a 10 worker. Simple. And I'm going to enable the Docker tomorrow and then validate the Docker is there. Now this command I'm going to type it. I don't know why I'm not able to say this one for some reason. See the row also. Run it. Go back. And finally setting force and this one. And finally, it is the last step for the work. Init, you should not run, should never run init. Copy the whole things as it is. That's the reason I ask you to and run it. So guys, this command you run in 10 boxes, 10 nodes will be added to the master. Guys, just say this node has joined the cluster already. Now I'll close this. I will not avoid this confusion. I'll close it. Now don't remember the master. Don't remember the worker. Just remember the workstation. Fortunately, my workstation IP address is same. So here, yeah. Okay guys, now you have to set up your own cluster before next demo. So guys, what you're going to do, mind it here. I'm asking you to set up CentOS 2 for the master, so you'll have a very smooth flow. Nothing is installed over there. And in the CentOS 1, you'll set up a worker. Mind it here, CentOS 1 need to be clear. Why? First of all, understand why. Why? Because we have used Docker in a simple way with bridge network.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.